welcome to the STEAM Exchange. My name is Rachel, and today we're going to be learning about space. Today you're going to get to build your own rocket, you might even get to taste some space ice cream, and you'll also learn about constellations. So, hope you enjoy your journey to space. Alright, it's time to see what's in our space kit. So inside, we have our guide to space kit. We've got all sorts of awesome instructions and lessons about outer space. You also will have some cards that show you some images from the Hubble Space Telescope, which is very cool. These pictures are awesome and there's a lot of information about them. You have, oh, this is a rocket that I've already made. You won't have a made one already, but you will have the ingredients to make your own rocket. So you'll have your Film Canister Rocket and your Film Canister Rocket template. You have AStronaut Ice Cream. This is something I used to eat when I was a kid, but in space, they can't bring fresh food. They have to freeze dry food. So this is a freeze-dried ice cream sandwich. Pretty cool. And then last, you have a black piece of paper, and you have glow-in-the-dark stars to make your own constellation. So let's get started. The images from the Hubble telescope and the space ice cream, you can kind of explore on your own, and you can eat this with adult permission. So let's dive right into making your own constellation. So you'll get out your black paper and your glow-in-the-dark stars. And I'm going to show you an example that I made. Upside down. So this is my constellation. It is a cute bunny rabbit. And what I did first is I kind of drew the outline of a shape that I was interested in making into a constellation, and then I kind of simplified it and made it into points, kind of like if you've ever seen a dot to dot. So I took that and then I lightly drew it with pencil onto my black piece of paper, and I used kind of my biggest stars for the main part of my constellation, and then I added stars around the edge to make it really cool. So this will glow in the dark, so it'll be pretty cool to hang on my wall. So enjoy making your very own constellation. Maybe you can even make up a story that goes with your constellation, why your constellation is something that's in the sky. All right, now it's time to try out your Film Canister Rocket. So your Film Canister Rocket will work just fine without the Film Canister Rocket template. You don't have to build your film canister into a rocket, but it will be very cool if you do. So that's an example of a finished rocket. I also wanted to show you, this was a Film Canister Rocket template that I colored to make it extra cool. So we're gonna go through this part together. So I already did the coloring, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these things out. You can see here it says use this side. So I don't need this side, I just need one side because this is going to make my nose cone, which is the top part of my rocket. And these are going to be my fins, which are the things that kind of stabilize the rocket. And these are two separate things, which actually make 4 fins. So I'm going to cut on this dashed line as well. And then I'm actually going to cut just that little part there because this is going to fold one way and the other way so I can tape it onto my rocket. So we've got that. And then the bottom whole part of this paper, if you cut on the dotted line, can become your the actual body of the rocket. I'm going to cut there. Now I'm going to get out my film canister. One thing that I have found is that it's actually pretty helpful to go ahead and lay out some tape before you start trying to assemble this, because it's a little tricky. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape out on the edge of my table.
You know the film canister?
I don't know. So my film canister is what, before digital pictures happened, we used to keep basically the images of the pictures on a roll inside this. So we're going to start with our film canister rocket body. We're going to flip this upside down so that the cap is on the bottom, so the bottom part comes off, and we want to make sure that that part is sticking out. Now I'm going to kind of roll this. This kind of helps if I give it a little pre-roll. And then I'm going to wrap it around the film canister. And this part is a little bit tricky, and you might need some help from an adult or a big kid because this part's hard. So you want the end to be sticking out, and I'm going to go ahead and tape the bottom because I have that set. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap the top, and I'm going to tape the top. And probably the hardest part of the whole thing is how do you get this middle part taped? You want to tape it, but you also don't want to crush your rocket, so be really careful. So, you know, for me, that looks just fine. All right, now I'm going to add my fins, and so that's why I have these tabs, so that I can add them. You can add all 4 fins, you can add 3 fins, 2 fins, however you want to do it. Up to you. And for the sake of our rocket and time, I might add, maybe I'll add just 2 fins. So you've got one here. And then remember, I'm going to fold these tabs one direction and the other direction. I'm taping these on. Okay, got some fins on there. 2 is fine for me today for these purposes. And then the nose cone, we're going to actually turn into a cone. So we're going to take our ends and we're going to kind of wrap them together, and you can kind of move them in place until you have like no hole on the top, and it's going to be about the same size as the top of your body. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go ahead and tape this. I tried to make mine look like flames because I thought that, you know, rockets zooming into the air, I thought that would be cool. I've also got stars on my fins. You can also decorate the body too. I didn't decorate this, but it would be way cooler if I did. So I'm going to kind of just delicately tape this on. All right. So now I have my rocket body, and the whole rocket is ready. Now, this is something I want you to keep in mind. Also, you could wrap this the other way so that the text isn't on the outside, so it's on the inside. It's a little bit hard to launch when it has the whole rocket made, so keep in mind that your rocket actually might get destroyed in this process, and that's okay. The cool thing is that you made the rocket, and you can always use and reuse this part over and over again. Okay, so we're going to need a little bit of water, and we're going to need these Alka-Seltzer tablets, and we're going to try our launch. All right, let's head outside. I'm outside now with my rocket, and it's important to do it outside because this thing can take off. You also want to make sure you always keep your face out of the way. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the pressure to build up inside the rocket, and you don't want to stick your face over it right when it's about to launch because you could get hurt. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to carefully open up the bottom of my rocket. I'm going to pour about a teaspoon of water in so that you can see. That's it in a little much. It doesn't have to be precise, but something about like that. Then I'm going to open up my Alka-Seltzer package. You're going to break it in half. You only really need half at a time. So now this is the part that you have to be quick about. I'm gonna put my Alka-Seltzer tablet in. I'm gonna close the cover, and it's really important that I close it all the way, otherwise the water will leak out and it won't build up pressure. Okay, Alka-Seltzer tablet in. And I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna wait until it launches. And there you go. All right, well, thank you for joining us in outer space today. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next time.